Hey everyone, today is March 31st, 2020. And the date I want to talk about in this video is April 10th, which lands on Good Friday. Another date that I've been looking at for a very long time, and so I'm pretty concerned about this date. This could be one of those huge events, and I see a possibility of a tsunami or a volcano or both affecting Hawaii or the West Coast. So I'm going to go through the connections that I have here. So first looking at Trump's full name, Donald John Trump, when you take it and abbreviate it, DJT, then you change it to numbers. We have D equals 4, J equals 10, T equals 20, 41020. Then you change it into date format, you got April 10th, 2020, Good Friday. Now, if you've seen my other videos, I talk about the number 322 or 911 often. And the reason being is because there's been numerous occasions where I've used these numbers to connect FF events or large events that have occurred. So when you take Trump, the day he was elected on 11/9 to Good Friday, you got 3 years and 22 weeks. From the day that Trump was inaugurated is 3 years, 2 months, and 22 days. From the date of the presidential text alert that we had in 2018, we have a 9/11 code backwards, 1 year, 190 days. So interesting that it connects with his initials, the day he was elected and the day he was inaugurated. Now, even more interesting is that Mike Pence, his birthday to April 10th is 22,223 days. Another big 322 connection. As I say, I always look for the 1, 3 multiple 2s or 1, 9 and multiple 1s. That's the coding I usually see. So now then you got Steve Mnuchin, who is a member or was a member of Skull and Bones, and again their number is 322, and you take the day that he was born to April 10th, you got 20,930 days, which happens to be a factor of 322. 302 times 65 equals 20,930. Now I want to show you the date numerology here of April 10th. It happens to be the 101st day and has a numerology of 54, 4 plus 10 plus 20 plus 20. Now this scene in iPad Goat 2, when Obama laughs, they put the LOL here. But this can also be 101, just like the date numerology of April 10th. Then you have below it is EVOL. Well, EVOL adds to 54, just like the date numerology of April 10th. And 101 has already played out in a few different events. Sandy Hook was 10/1 on the Hebrew calendar. The Vegas shooting was 10/1, 2017. And on 10/1, 2015, there was another shooting, college shooting, which killed, I think, over a dozen people. So, and not to mention the fact that Obama is from Hawaii, and which could connect to this April 10th, the 101st day affecting Hawaii. Now I want to talk about the largest tsunami ever recorded as considered a mega tsunami that happened on July 9th, 1958 in Alaska, when a 7.8 earthquake struck, triggering a rock slide of 40 million cubic yards. And this tsunami happened to wipe out trees up to an elevation of 1,720 feet. So, and now I want to show you the connection I got for it. It happens to be 3,222 weeks and 2 days apart from April 10th, connecting to the largest tsunami. And the largest earthquake in the United States happens to be in Alaska as well, and that was a 9.2 in 1964. Well, guess what? That was on Good Friday, largest. So now we're on the anniversary of this. Well, it's not the date anniversary because Good Friday is a different date every year, but still, we're on another Good Friday, and it connects to the largest tsunami ever recorded. Now you take the date that Hawaii became a state, it happens to be 3,202 weeks apart from April 10th. 322 connection. And this reverse in parentheses means when I switch these and reverse them. If you were to put the 410 over here and the 821 over here. So 531, 2000, what happened here? That's the date of a great conjunction. And I mentioned in my other video that some of the largest events like 9/11, the 2004 tsunami, Fukushima, the 2018 Indonesian tsunami, Haiti earthquake, probably many other events, but they've connected with a 9/11 or 322 connection to the Great Conjunction before or after. And April 10th happens to be 19 years, 10 months, and 10 days after the 2000 Great Conjunction. Actually, even tomorrow, April Fool's Day, connects 19 years, 10 months, 1 day. So, but when I look, we had a Hawaii false tsunami alert last year on September 18th, and that connected 19 years, 110 days apart. So, and if you look at the 1981 Great Conjunction, that was 19 years, 111 days apart from April 10th. And they don't happen too often, about every 18 to 20 years. So on May 3rd, 2018, we had Kilauea erupting. And that connects with a 322 connection, 2 years, 23 days. There was a false tsunami warning on the west coast, and that connects 22 months, 30 days. Now on 7/2/2019, we had a total solar eclipse. And the reason I put this in here is because it was seen by Easter Island, and there happens to be an Easter Island head shown in IPETGO too. And that has a 9/11 connection to April 10th. So the date that CERN opened their Gothard Tunnel, or they had the ceremony to opening, it was 1,409 days apart, which happens to be the 223rd prime. And when I look at the date that CERN was founded, this was supposed to be 1954. To May 22nd, 1960, it's 2,322 days apart, 322 connection. And on this day, the largest earthquake recorded in history happened at 9.5. And it produced a tsunami, killing 61 people in Hawaii. So, April 10th also happens to have a 322 connection to 9/11, 222 months and 30 days. So another date that I wrote down was 9/29/2000, which happens to be the day the Apple fell by 50%, or you might say it split in half. Um, and you can see right here the Apple splitting in half in iPad Go 2. And that's one of the reasons why I looked into this date. And after I did, I found numerous connections to events like bad days in the stock market and other things. But a few of the things that I wrote down here, um, on 2/20 in February, that was the very beginning of this current stock market crash, what happens to be 232 months and 22 days after the date that Apple split in half. It was also 11 years, 6 days, upside down 9/11 from the date that Steve Jobs died. It was 11 months, 19 days prior to the stock market crash when it reopened after 9/11. And it was also 11 months, 1 week, 6 days, upside down 9/11 from 9/11, 2001. And here we are on April 10th, and we have another connection, 1,019 weeks, backwards 9/11. And I just want to point out that Hawaii is the 50th state, and since the beginning of the stock market crash to April 10th happens to be 50 days. Another date that I was looking at is April 8th, which happens to be Passover. And that has a 322 connection to the date that Apple was incorporated, 2,230 weeks. And that's also 3,222 weeks after the Lituya Bay tsunami that I pointed out, the largest ever recorded. So, some movies I want to show you guys, some connections I have here. So, probably the most famous tsunami movie is The Impossible, about the 2004 tsunami, and that happens to be 91 months and 1 day apart. The Simpsons episode where they went to New York, in case this happens to be an East Coast thing, I got a couple of New York connections. Well, it was their second time that they went to New York, and it was 90 months and 11 days apart. And April 10th is also 2,230 weeks and 2 days apart from the New York blackout on July 13th. The blackout that we had last year in New York was actually on July 13th, the 42nd anniversary. And here's some connections to why I believe there could be a volcano involved, because we have the date that Dante's Peak was released to April 10th is 1,191 weeks and 1 day. There was a couple different Pompeii movies. You have this Apocalypse Pompeii and this Pompeii movie, which most people are familiar with. But this one right here, the film was released direct to DVD on February 8th. Well, that happens to be 322 weeks apart from April 10th. And the movie Pompeii that people are familiar with, it happens to be 320 weeks and 2 days apart. Some other connections, you've seen the movie clip, or you've seen the movie where they say, "Oh, there's a storm coming," and that was called Take Shelter, and that was 9 years and 11 weeks apart. I have a 322 connection to Princess Diana's death here. 322 connection to the 2024 eclipse. A 9/11 connection to the movie 10.5, which takes place in Seattle. And I just want to point out that this date is Nissan 16, which is 116 upside down 9/11 on the Hebrew calendar. So that's what I got. This could be a large event. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. All right. Take care, guys. I'll talk to you next time.